What up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. And we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao can't retire with Mayweather loss. Was looking at some videos today, and I came across one. I'm not gonna say the guy's name because he seems like a hate to call him a hater, but he doesn't seem like a Pacquiao fan. And I don't do this just because I'm a Pacquiao fan. I love boxing, man. I love the sport of boxing, and I try to speak honestly about all the topics. I'm not monetized yet. I don't have an MCN, and I'm not partnered with any boxers or boxing associations. So there's no need for me to come with a biased opinion at this point. Maybe if I get rich or famous off of this, keep hitting that like and subscribe button, then I'll become a little more biased with my opinion. But to get to the point, he was speaking on the Maypac fight, and Manny Pacquiao, I guess, came out with a statement saying that I can't retire with the Mayweather loss. And he worded it in a certain way to say, kind of like Manny Pacquiao admits he can't retire with the Mayweather loss, like Manny Pacquiao's depressed about the Mayweather loss or something. Which I'm sure he's not depressed. He seems like a pretty level guy, so I don't think he's depressed about the Mayweather loss. It might irk him, and he feel like he could put up a better fight, But let me put it like this: both of those guys, for that fight to be so big, for people to have put up so much money, I paid personally $100. I just got finished paying it off for my old cable bill. They've been charging me for that for months, but that's neither here nor there. But for people that have paid so much to have seen the fight, and for let's just be honest, both if Pacquiao was hurt, he was hurt. Now here's the problem I have with so-called Floyd Mayweather fans or boxing commentators that are obviously biased to one side. I'm a Pacquiao fan. I admit that I used to like Floyd Mayweather when he was Money Mayweather. His cocky attitude and his arrogance is the reason I don't follow him much anymore. It's not that I don't think he's a decent boxer. I feel like his record is padded. But when it comes to guys, Mayweather fan boxing commentators, and so-called non-bias, but when it comes to their opinions about that fight, because they are Mayweather fans, they refuse to see it from both sides. They refuse to say, you know what, both of these guys put up a horrible performance for it to be so much money on the line, and for people to have paid that much to see the fight. Now, here's what I want to dive into. Manny Pacquiao said he was hurt during the fight. Okay. Now, if you watch the interviews, all the Floyd Mayweather interviews that were surrounding that fight, there's two interviews where Floyd Mayweather says, I knew about the injury already. I had somebody in his camp that had already told me. And this is not the first time Floyd Mayweather has said this about fighters, that he said, trolls or moles or whatever you want to call them within people's camps. So if you already had that news and you already had that information, my question is, why didn't you take advantage of it? Why was it such a horrible fight? You knew the man was hurt, so you could have attacked him in all kind of ways that you didn't even try. So either you're lying, straight up, you're just lying and you didn't know until after, or you still felt like Manny Pacquiao, even with one arm, was doing damage to you in that fight, and you refused to engage with him. There's only two answers to the question. There is no third, or, well, Pacquiao fans, they need to accept it. Floyd beat him and all that. He won the fight, technically. But if you look at it, he didn't win the fight. I mean, if you go back and watch it, emotions drove everybody the night of the fight to say Mayweather won. When you go back and look at it conclusively, you can see he wasn't landing really a lot of punches. Neither was Pacquiao, but Pacquiao's punches were actually making contact with Mayweather. Now that's one thing. Now the other thing is the whole injury thing. So if Mayweather knew he was injured, Pacquiao knew he was injured, and they both went in the fight knowing he was. My whole thing is why was Mayweather's side of the fight so horrible? Why in no way did Mayweather try to take advantage of this fact? Why did he feel like he was just I can just coast through this fight and get paid? You know, it says a lot about Floyd Mayweather and his legacy, you know, and the way he approaches boxing. Yeah, you're the richest guy in the world, but you're not entertaining. Nothing about you is entertaining within the sport of boxing, in which people love. You know, no, you have none of these factors that people love about the sport of boxing. You're just the richest boxer. And I'm going to just be honest with you for a second, man, because there's a big disparity. There's a whole lot of, mess that surrounds Floyd Mayweather and his African-American fan base. Now, Floyd Mayweather has fans outside of African-Americans. But his fans outside of African-Americans are not as rabid as his African-American fans. Now, I could probably say the same thing about Pacquiao. Pacquiao has a huge fan base, you know what I'm saying? And I love Pacquiao, you know, I feel like he's the best fighter of this generation. But his fans, because they are foreign, they're not as vicious with their attacks because they don't know how to attack like Americans attack people. You know what I'm saying? And African-Americans, they feel like they've been held down so long and that when they make it somewhere, they gotta pump up a person no matter what. No matter if the person's ego is out of control, no matter if the person's not a likable person, no matter if the person's, you know, doing nothing for the community. Just because that guy made it and he's rich to black people, to a lot of black people, that's enough to say, you know what, we got to put this guy up on a pedestal and keep him there, and anybody who try to mess with this pedestal is going to get jumped, basically. So, I mean, that's how I kind of look at the whole Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao situation. And for people to be saying, making false allegations about why Pacquiao might have made that statement, I don't think he made that statement because, you know, he's depressed or anything about losing to Mayweather. I think he's made that statement because he feel like he actually won the fight. Obviously, the man feels like he was actually injured or he wouldn't take it this far, you know. It's been so long and you won so many fights and you lost a few more, you know, at this point, who really cares about the Mayweather fight anymore except people who want to see the rematch? You know, and there's a reason so many people are clamoring for the rematch. It's not just because of Pacquiao. You know, it's because people actually feel now, after going back and watching it again, maybe I saw it or maybe my emotions drove me in the wrong direction when I was watching it that night. And maybe the wrong guy actually won what was the fight of the decade at that point. But, you know, it's a lot of nonsense that goes on in the YouTube boxing community. You know, fan bases are split, you know. People are split between races and all type of stuff in this community, man. And it's hard to find your footing because, like I said, man, I am African American and I don't, you know, push Floyd as the best fighter of this generation. So I'm kind of pushing against my own community. And I could have a huge community if I just ran with it, you know. But, you know, I'm gonna stay true to myself and true to who I came in with. You know, I've been a Pacquiao fan this long. The Marquez loss didn't make me stop being a fan. And when I was telling people after the Marquez loss, you know, it means nothing, it didn't make me stop being a fan. After the Floyd loss, it didn't make me stop being a fan. After the Bradley loss, it didn't make me stop being a fan because I know who won these fights. After the Horn loss, it didn't make me stop because I watched them. All of those fights except for the Marquez were fights where there is an asterisk next to them because everybody who watched it saw something else than what the judges what the judges gave as a final outcome. So, you know, it is what it is, man. It really is what it is, man. I feel like the Maypac fight is happening. You know, Manny Pacquiao said he feel like there's a strong possibility that the Maypac fight is happening, and he just wants to be ready, man. So, you know, don't take these guys too seriously, man, when they get to spouting off and spreading fake innuendo on YouTube. And I want to touch on one more subject before I get out of here. I know this video is pretty long, man, but y'all bear with me. I recently, and this is speaking on the YouTube boxing community again, I have a troll or a hater or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you call the internet person who stalks you. I'm from the real world, personally. But I have a hater, and he's recently, he's the guy who keeps thumbing, you know, when I have a video and it has 30 likes, and he's the guy, he's the one dislike, put it that way. Anyway, so, you know, he's gotten a couple of my videos flagged, and yesterday he had one of them removed. Two of them I got back because the guy keeps sending these strikes through fake email accounts. And I know they're fake because of the wording of the email account that is attached to. But just to let you guys know, you know, I know what you're doing, bro. It's all good. I'm not a hater. Do what you do. That's your game that you're running. I'm going to make it no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep doing what I do, you know. Obviously, what I'm doing is having some type of impact, so I'm going to keep rolling with it, man. That's Ali Land Boxing Talk. We out of here.